want to tell you a quick story about how I lost money, right? And there's going to be a few key elements in this, and I would implore you to not get caught up on the details, but get caught up on the main point of how and why I lost money. And I'm going to tell you how and why. Hey, the main way you lose money is getting involved in something that, number one, you didn't do your due diligence on. Number two, you didn't understand all the details or the facts. And number three, again, you didn't do your due diligence. So here's how that story goes. So I contacted the seller. He said, yes, I have a property that I will sell you, right? But I'd rather sell it on terms, okay? I'll sell it on terms, or what that means is he wanted to do owner financing, essentially. That was the main thing of his business. So property out on the west side, and it needed some work, and come to find out the tenants were living in there. They had tried to buy it on terms, but they were now renting it, and they really weren't paying on time. But I was so excited, issue number one, so excited that he wanted to sell me a property on terms that I accepted the deal. $5,000 down, I think it was $500 or $600 a month, and the rent was $800 from the tenant. But again, the reality was the tenants weren't really paying. But I agreed to the deal. I paid them the $5,000. I'm not getting any money, from this tenants once I get deeper in the details. I really hadn't even seen the inside of the property. I was being borderline reckless, just to be honest. And so what ends up happening is 2-3 months, I'm making payments to the seller, and I'm not getting anything for the tenants. And it takes me forever to go ahead and start the eviction with those tenants, because I'm technically not entitled. Again, a lot of bad factors. I'm just going to be honest with you. This was pretty irresponsible on my part, and a little bit running fast and loose, right? So what ends up happening is I tell the seller, hey, I'm not making any more payments. I can't do this anymore because they're not paying. I can't get them out. The property's in bad shape. They got dogs up the property. It was just an all the way bad situation. I injected myself into a bad situation. 6-8 months go by, and I finally decide, I'm gonna evict these tenants. I finally evict the tenants, get them out of the property. The sheriff comes out, the whole 9 yards, and we do a set out and all that good stuff, because I actually want to do something with the property. I want to kind of clear my plate of any kind of just bad decisions and stuff. I just want to clear my plate and get it off my conscience and get out of the deal, really. And so I called the seller up and say, hey, man, I want to just give you back the property. I want to get rid of our land contract. You're selling on terms. I want to get rid of our land contract, get out of the situation. He's like, man, I don't want it back. I don't want to do these tenants. I don't want the property back. And I say, really? Well, I don't want it either. It's yours. He says, no, it's yours. I said, wow. I said, okay. So what ends up happening is, I said, look, man, I think my land contract was for $50,000. And I said, look, man, I'll buy it from you for $30,000 cash, right? He says, let me do the deal. He wants to do the deal. But his wife ends up calling me back. She's like, tries to negotiate me, and she's like, no, I don't want to, we're not selling it to you for that amount, blah, blah. And I just tell her, look, I don't even want the property. You can have it back. I'm going to buy it for $30,000 cash. And so what ends up happening, the story gets better. I ended up cleaning out the property, and they ended up selling it to me for $30,000. And then I ended up wholesaling that property to somebody else for $40,000, but with my double close fees, my $5,000 deposit that I didn't get back, all the money it cost me to clean out the property and tighten it up, get these tenants out, I ended up losing about $4 or $5 grand. Right? It sounds interesting, but we were able to salvage the deal from something. But overall, the main point was a few things that I did wrong. Number one, no due diligence, not enough due diligence. I didn't even see the inside of the property. I didn't evaluate the value of it properly. So I did a multitude of things wrong in that regard. So I would just tell you, make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure that you pay close attention to the details. Don't run fast and loose if you got money or if you don't. And I think you'll be good as an investor.